Welcome to my apartment. It's a drizzly Wednesday. I don't know if you could tell that the lighting is very rainy, but it is. I thought I would do a favorites video because I haven't done a favorites video in like a year. I feel like that's enough time to accumulate things to show you. And I'm not the kind of person that always wants to try new things. I try new things so that I can find my holy grail and like never stray from it for the rest of my life if possible, because I don't then need to make decisions. I can just repeat purchase. I know that it's good, and I'm super satisfied. It's like my dream. I thought I would share some current favorites with you, some of which I think will be forever favorites, some of which may not because it's based on like what I'm into right now. So let's do it. Let's do some personal care first. I feel like that's very relatable. Personal care being makeup, skincare, beauty, etc. Should we do the most unhinged first? This is a holy grail item, like confirmed. I've been using it since I was 12 years old. I'm 32 now. Have I been using it for 20 years? That's insane. So I ordered these. This is deodorant. You might be thinking, God, she stinks. Like, why does she need so much? It's not that. I have this feeling that this is going out of sale. I haven't seen my deodorant in the grocery store, which is where I usually buy my deodorant, for a while, like this specific flavor. This is the flavor I've used since I was 12 years old. It's the Dove Go Fresh Cucumber and Green Tea scent. Let's have a sniff, shall we? They sell it in bulk at Big W. Big W's like a Target. Oh, nostalgic. Like, it just works. It's antiperspirant. It probably has freaking titanium or whatever it's supposed to have in it that we're not supposed to use. It works really well for me. As someone with eczema, like I feel like I'm allergic to my own sweat, or there's something about my own sweat that makes me itchy. Also, I'm not good with fragrance. For some reason, this is great. Also, I tried this flavor that was like mango or passion fruit or something. It's orange. I loved it. I was like, this is nice. This is fruity. Maybe this can be my new Dove since I can't find my old Dove. Rocket says it smells like what urinal cakes smell like. And obviously I'm not in a urinal, so I don't know what that smell is, but I cannot smell like a urinal to half the population. I just simply can't. The reason I bought so much is because I found out a year ago that my big sister Connie uses the same deodorant as me, the exact flavor, because I saw it in her bathroom. It's in our genes to like this. So I said, you can have 6 and I can have 6. It's a bargain. It was like $40 for 12. In the supermarket, it's like $6 for 1. I'm so glad I found these. Please let it not be discontinued. If anyone has any intel on that, let me know, because if it's going to be discontinued, I'm going to buy more. This is a holy grail product. Continuing on with personal care, makeup. I love Ilia as a company. I feel that they're very natural in terms of like the ingredients, and also very natural in terms of the finish, because I don't like looking like I'm wearing makeup. I like effortless makeup. I don't really have brushes. I like stuff I can use my hands for. And this is just that. I use the complexion stick, which is kind of like a foundation stick that kind of melts into your skin, in 22C Sugi. And I also use the multi-stick for cheeks in At Last. I love them. If I was going for a really dewy look, I'd go for their foundation. I haven't been able to get it. I don't have any right now. They don't have them at Mecca for some reason. Mecca's like our Sephora. So I have to order it online, then I'll show you. But Ilia, I really love this company. I feel that it's really, for me, it's like low maintenance. My hair, my skin, that kind of beauty stuff, super low maintenance. It has to be, because I'm too lazy to like put effort in, if that makes sense. I love this moisturizer from Aesop. It's Elemental Facial Barrier Cream. Now, I can't be super picky when it comes to skincare, as in if something works for me, I just roll with it, because it is rare that something isn't irritating or doesn't sting or the scent's not too strong. And I will say Aesop does have like strong scent or fragrance, but for some reason this is okay. It usually will flare up when I'm really stressed, or like there's a lot of pollen in the air and it's like an allergic reaction. So when that happens and it's raw from scratching or really inflamed, I don't use this just because of the fragrance. I have like really simple products that I use which don't feel as nice. It makes my skin feel really hydrated, really plump. I don't like a moisturizer that just sinks in and goes away, because I want it to feel moisturized. If you have eczema, you know, like you have an issue with your skin barrier, and this I feel like feels like it's a little bit repaired. I feel like it's really nice. It has copper PCA in it. When I looked that up, it said it like promotes collagen production, so it makes your skin like bouncy, like, and I do feel like that's true. It also smells really good. But again, if you have issues with fragrance, which sometimes I do, it's too strong for you. But I really like Aesop. Their shampoo and conditioner is also really good. I feel like it makes my hair really nice. I've already told you my Holy Grail eyeliner in my last favorites. I'm going to try with these favorites videos not to double up though, because especially if it's a Holy Grail, because you'll figure that out along the way. Maybe I'll put the Holy Grails at the end, but there's like 3 products. something that you can do. It's not a specific place you can go because you guys are all scattered around the world. But going to used bookstores and secondhand bookstores, that's like ideal date for me. Like if Rock and I go get a little drink, and it could be a solo date too, if I get a little drink or a treat, like a bubble tea or a matcha latte or something like that, and go to a used bookstore, I could spend like hours in there and I feel so refreshed and fulfilled. My idea of the perfect day is doing that with no time that I have to finish, if that makes sense. Now, my favorite used bookstores in Sydney are Elizabeth's in Newtown on King Street. It's open at night. It's open really late. So if you're going to see a movie, like it's a nice little used bookstore movie date. And then Gould's, which is down the road, is a really nice one because it's like has history, has legacy. It's really old, really like bare bones. I love it. It used to be in this really old building at the start of King Street, but now it's up like the south end of King Street. And the other one that I've discovered recently is Sappho's in Glebe. Glebe, we used to be in my local haunt when I first got a studio out of home. That's where my studio was. So it's really always nice to be there. But Sappho's is a really cute bookstore. They have a really nice selection of stuff. It's well curated. There's a lot of care. And also I feel like the cafe is really good. So let's do some books that I bought recently from used bookstores. The beauty of old bookstores is it's a treasure hunt. You don't know what you're going to find. It's not like clothes where the treasure hunt doesn't always pay off because it has to be the right size. It has to be the right style. You can buy whatever book you want. And it's like you're going through things and there's stuff you have never heard about or thought that you would ever buy. And also it's always a steal. Well, no, maybe not always, but it's often a steal, and it feels like you can get book covers that aren't available now. I feel like book covers used to be really nice back in the day. And as an illustrator, I'm really inspired by like old artwork and old printing methods for books and their illustrations. I got the whole complete Chronicles of Narnia. I've never read the Narnia books before. I think when I was young, I read The Magician's Nephew. We've started on this. Sometimes Rocket reads this to me in bed. But look at these illustrations. Aren't they cute? Have I already shown you this? Why do I feel like I have? I also got a bit obsessed with the idea. Like, I really want to read this one because Tolkien was friends with C.S. Lewis, and they were kind of like, I feel that Tolkien was a bit petty, and the way that he viewed his friendship with him, I feel like he was a bit jealous. Also, there's a lot of similarities in this book to like Lord of the Rings. I'm like, there's a ring that makes you disappear. Okay. And they used to do readings in like a pub together. So I'm like, did you guys steal each other's ideas? Anyway, each of these covers is so gorgeous, so cute. There's nothing like it. It comes in the original box. It was only $50. I feel like that is a bargain for 7 books. And on top of that, Greta Gerwig is directing the Chronicles of Narnia. So I can read the books as each one is released, you know what I mean? So I feel like that's a really nice find. And this was like the first time I'd been to Sappho's in a long time. So I was like, oh crap, this is great. Another Sappho's find is this Richard Scarry book. I need to tell you the name of the creator that I found who did like a deep dive into Richard Scarry's work. I will put the link below. Like, it was so interesting. She had gone to like a library where they kept like archives of his work and like letters from him and things that like alluded to his process a little bit more. That is so interesting. As someone that does illustration as a job, like it's really interesting to see how other people work because it's always so different to you. And they, especially the greats, especially like the greats of the old times, especially in publishing, they had very specific processes. Like that's what I found with Dick Brunner. That's what I found with every single person that I've like, even Roald Dahl. Like anyway, he would sit in his attic, his wife would bring him lunch, and he just watched the world go by. He lived in Switzerland or moved to Switzerland, and his books are about people that he saw on his travels and people that he saw in his hometown. But Richard Scarry's work was really interesting because there wasn't a lot of encyclopedic illustrate, like in the way that he did very like structure breaking for the time. He would like do cross sections of things, very text heavy, very explanation heavy in a very cartoony way. And I think that's really interesting. Something that he also did was like use animals as his characters, like anthropomorphic animals, because he thought that people would see themselves in them, even if you're a boy or a girl. It's not like, you know, there's no race, there's no age. It's just like there's age in clothing and stuff, but you can relate more to like animals. And that's something that I'm like, oh, I'm doing a book called The Late Bird right now. Like I'm working on a book and there's all the characters are animals. And I'm like, I feel like it's the way to go. Like it's more whimsical as well. Anyway, I love a Richard Scarry. Every time I find a Richard Scarry book, I'm going to buy it. Another book I got from Sappho's is Halfdan Rasmussen's Hocus Pocus Nonsense Rhymes. Love a rhyme, of course. I'm a big Dr. Seuss fan. But the illustrations and the way it's printed in this is so cute. I swear I've shown this to you. Am I insane? I feel that like old books have really interesting compositions. Illustration was more of a career where you could spend time doing stuff. I feel like now it's very like fast paced. There's so much more personality. I feel like now in publishing, there's a lot of like similar visuals and things like that. But this is so cool. And I feel like kids need to be exposed to this weirdness so they can be weird or they can accept themselves as weird. It's just so like, I feel like a kid could also draw this, and that's so motivating for children. They've drawn stuff with graphite and pen, I think, and then rendered it with like 3-color printing or something. I haven't actually read it, but I love to buy like secondhand picture books as inspiration for my work. I like to get inspo from that because I feel like it makes your work more unique. This is a recent purchase from Elizabeth's in Newtown, the one that I spoke about. DIYing, a new fave. A future fave, if you will. This is from Better Homes and Gardens, which is like a magazine, potentially a TV show in Australia. So this was first published in 1991, and it's basically home repairs and maintenance. That stuff doesn't change. My house was built in the 1800s. The repair that I need to do in my house, things like the window sills have a mechanism that has string. One of them is like broken right now. It has how to repair that. It has how to reduce drafts in windows. I need to do that. I just think at the moment, any chance I have to like have real media and like consume stuff that's off screen, I'm doing. And this is so useful, not to mention informative illustrations, and photography is iconic of the time. Like it would be so hard to recreate it now. It's so cool. Rock and I want to put a lot more time and care into our home. So I feel like this is that. It's nice to have. And I think the cover's really nice. So it only takes up like a magazine's worth of space. Why not have it on hand? That's my secondhand bookstore finds. Now for the new book finds. This is a book called Better Things Are Possible, How Rebellious Hope Will Change the World by Jack Toohey. Jack is my first friend I made and turned into a real life friend from the internet. We met on Tumblr in, I would say 2016, 2015. He was doing a lot of photography then. His work was really nice, very iconic. We were both like creators in Sydney, so we got lunch and like worked on some projects, did some stuff together. And he's always been really funny, really, really smart. Always I would say, facilitator, always a communicator. So like when he was launching a book, I said, I'll go support a Tumblr friend, you know. He's recently been doing a lot of like content about the Australian political and social and financial landscape that has really popped off. He's very smart. He is very well researched. And this book is just the perfect mix of like personable writing mixed with digestible statistics, mixed with information of how we came to be this way. If you're Australian, buy this book. If you're not Australian but want to see how I feel like social structure can change and how we can make changes like a generation, like you should get this book. It's so good. The idea is that like we need hope to be able to make change. So it's like to have hope, you have to understand what's happening and then you can help make change. I feel like something that we lack as like my generation and younger is the belief that we can actually make change because things were set in motion before we were born, and it's tempting to be like, this is just the way it is. Or like maybe we're so busy trying to pay rent or bills or whatever that we're like we don't have even time to even consider the massive job of making change. But I feel like this gives hope. It gives understanding of like how things have changed in the past, what things used to be, and some solutions, you know? I like that a lot. Every time I talk about an issue like in the world on my stories or something, I always want to accompany it with an actionable thing, with something that people can do immediately, because the worst feeling is like seeing all this effed up shit and then like not being able to do anything about it, feeling hopeless. That is horrible. I would never want to like put that on anyone. So I feel like I've only read like, I feel 10 chapters or something, but it's super easy to digest, really interesting. And I feel like it does create like a sense of we can change things. It is our responsibility because no one else is unfortunately going to do it. And here's how. It sounds dry, but it's really not dry. I really recommend it. And also like I started reading a chapter to Rocket. He's in Canada shooting right now. He bought a copy so he could read it over there because he really liked it. The next book is Dawn by Mark Martin. Mark Martin is an illustrator based in, where is he based in? He's definitely based in Australia, but his work is published all over the world. Like you'll find it in galleries, museums all over the world, as well as bookstores. He is so good with watercolor. If you're a fan of like inks and watercolors and that like bleedy effect, you will love his work. This recent picture book called Dawn is very poetic. It's stunning. I would say like it's a type of mindfulness for children and people without having to leave your house. It's like grounding in a way. When I went to this like book launch, he like had spoken about his process, how he wrote like almost a poem first. It's not like necessarily rhyming, although it does rhyme sometimes. There's like a lot of alliteration, but it's very like one word per spread. but the illustrations are stunning. I've always been a fan of how he layers like his watercolor work, because it's definitely like sometimes there's multiple watercolor pieces like photoshopped into each other or like put together, but it's really seamless. Like a lot of people don't do it well. He does it really well. And his sense of creating like out of focus and not with like wet on wet and not is so impressive. Like I love his work. I've loved his work for a really long time. But yeah, this is really cute. I love this book. I would say like it's maybe not like a fun adventure book for kids, but it's definitely like a thought starting thing for parents. It's also really nice to have as like an art piece. I love picture books as like pieces of art or art publications. You could use it to get kids to be more aware of their surroundings or more present in nature, because it highlights really small moments. I think in this time where it's like we're inundated with a lot of like attention grabbing media, it celebrates the little moments in life instead of grabbing your attention with these big things. And I feel like that's a really important thing to remember and a really nice way to live. And I think that's really important for kids to have, especially because a lot of the media that's created for kids now is really overstimulating. It's so stunning though. I feel like you'd want prints of each of these in your house, but you get them all in a picture book for like $30 bargain. Beautiful. I love it. It's really always interesting to go to author events too, because in general, it's nice to hear about the work that's being produced. I think that's what's nice about studio vlogs. I think that's what's nice about artists being on social media, but it's also nice as like an author illustrator myself, where I'm seeing like how other people approach their book events, because I always feel a lot of pressure, like it has to be the most engaging thing, people have to get the most value out of it, but sometimes just existing and like sharing your process is value enough. Also, activities are really fun. They had us create panels and like pull a little moment from a hat and like illustrate that. That's really fun for kids. I love it. The launch was at Glee Books, which is an independent bookstore in Australia. I love Glee Books, so fun. Okay, next, let's see what we have. Art supply. I've got one art supply for you, surprisingly, because this is just a plain notepad from Muji. It's like newsprint paper, if that makes sense. It's very, I would say super thin. Does it say the GSM here? I would say 80. It's off-white. I would say it's a warm gray, speckled. It's very easy to draw on with pencil and pen. I like to use felt tip for sketching lately, so it's been really nice for that. And the fact that it's just a tearaway pad, low pressure. The fact that the paper is not crisp and white, low pressure. All very necessary things for play, all very necessary things for sketching and like ideation. I use it for like ideation and projects when I'm not using my sketchbook. I wouldn't say it's a replacement for the sketchbook, but I love it. And it's also really good for light boxing because it's quite thin. So it really does like come through. Anyway, that's like a very basic thing. Also, global, so you guys can get it too if you want to. I do think there's an alternative probably with buying newsprint, but I don't know that it's exactly the same because I've never done that. I've never bought newsprint. That might be my next thing to buy. I assume that newsprint would be cheaper than buying like Muji notepads, but love it. This with felt tip, love it. Let's do food and snacks. I am obsessed with this thing called I've called it my loveless meal. What it means is it's like super low pressure meal prep where you're just making some stuff, you're chopping it really badly. I think I just call it my loveless meal because Rocket, when he prepares food for us, is really loving. Like everything's chopped really nicely. Even the garnishes are just aesthetic. Everything's really pretty. This is like not that. And currently my loveless meal is that viral beef bowl that's on TikTok. If you don't know what that is, it's like lean beef mince and onion. Chop up the onion, just chuck it in for a bit, put the beef in, let it cook, not even putting oil or anything, just let it cook down. Yes, the pan's effed up afterwards, but that's okay. You got some roast veggies, you got cottage cheese. I love cherry tomatoes, capsicum, Chinese cabbage, and then like really slow roasted sweet potato. That is the loveless thing too, because I just grabbed all the sweet potato, put it on a pan, put it in the oven on low and slow, low being like 160, really long amount of time, then turn it off, just let it sit in there. Like, it's my loveless meal. It's actually quite loving. It's just really ugly because I'm cooking for myself in the future. It means I don't have to eat out as much. It means I can spend time in my home. So maybe I call it my uggo meal, but I like the loveless meal thing. I don't know. Another thing I love is like slow cooking apples with cinnamon and spices and some brown sugar. Put it on ice cream. I put it on yogurt. It's like a really nice treat. I learned that baked apple is like good for you in some way, but I can't remember how. But any excuse for cinnamon, in my opinion. And you can do those two at the same time. You can do the beef and the apples at the same time. Another thing I love. Okay, sorry, this looks really wet because I washed it. But this is my current favorite apple breed. This is a Kissabel apple. It's been being developed apparently for the last 20 years, but it's not yet at the point that it can be in major supermarkets. It has this beautiful, pink flesh. Really crispy, really tart. Very juicy, so yummy, so refreshing. Also, the pink flesh is so stunning. It's so stunning that I wouldn't put it in my baked apple thing. I reserve that for Pink Ladies and Granny Smiths. I don't know if you have access to this, and I don't know if there's like a generic name for these like pink fleshed apples that are tart and juicy. But in Australia, they're called Kissabels. I've been wanting to try pink apples since I saw it on my Apple Influencer's photography. He's like this, is it Pum Queen? I'll put that below as well. He's a photographer who photographs apples and like knows a lot about like apple genes and apple plants and all the different types. He does like these in real life events where he has all these breeds of apples that he's foraged in New York City, and you can learn about them and you can taste them. FOMO. I was a bit worried because Nate said he didn't like them. He said they were just really tart, and I was like a bit worried, but I love them. My next favorite, Arnott's Shapes Vegemite and Cheese. So Arnott's, if you don't know, is an Australian company, I'm pretty sure. They're the ones that make Tim Tams and Tiny Teddies, which I also love. Now, I will say the only thing I don't like is opening this package makes Tonka want to vom. He'll gag. Vegemite, if you don't know, it's a yeast spread. It's very salty. It's delicious, and I love it. How do I explain Shapes? They're oven-baked crackers that are flavored, and you can see the flavor. Flavor you can see is their tagline. The Vegemite ones are a bit brown, but they're in the shape of Australia and Tasmania. For some reason, Tasmania is really big. Tasmania is where my mum lives. The Vegemite and cheese ones are so good. I think because it has maltodextrin in it. There's this like texture I really like of this thing, which is not healthy, but I love it. Now, I don't know if it's true, but I think Vegemite was invented because we made a lot of beer. We brewed a lot of beer in Australia, and there's a lot of this byproduct, and Vegemite became a use for that byproduct. That might be fake, but I'm spreading it as misinformation. Next, I'm going to talk about my friend's business. If you know Nate, which you probably do, you might know that he has a fairy floss business. I would say it's a design-led fairy floss business. He wouldn't call it that. I would, because the packaging is so nice. It's very giftable. Coming into Christmas is his biggest time of year. And if you're looking for like a fun stocking stuffer or something fun for kids or like fancy adults, fluff is the thing. I get it for free. It's the perk of being his friend. But he just released cinnamon sugar fluff. And if you know me, you know I love cinnamon. Like, I love, love, love it. He's the kind of person to be like a perfectionist, a person that will take the time for the small details. Like, look at this bag. A fairy floss bag doesn't have to look like this. I brought this over like he didn't know I was going to do this, but I just have to say. Ribbon, which is a vanilla. Birthday cake, which is birthday cake. And the flavors really taste like the things. It's actually crazy. And taffeta, which is what? A sumptuous jumble of whipped tropical fruits. But we're going to have the cinnamon sugar. When we go to the movies and get popcorn, he always brings like fairy floss. Yum! It's spicy. Now, I'm convinced he did this because I nagged him about having cinnamon flavor. It's so good. I think the fact that it's so pretty makes it a really nice gift for Christmas. Hot tip, ribbon plus movie popcorn equals Lucky Charms flavor. It's the ultimate combination. Yeah. I feel like it's coming up to Nate's like 10th year doing fluff. Who's always looking to innovate, always researching, always trying to come up with new flavors. He's a tinkerer, you know? And I get to reap the benefits. So yummy. The last thing I want to talk about for my current, like my right now favorites is homemade gifts. So this bag charm, beaded bag charm, my friend Daisy came to Sydney for like her friend's book launch, and we were her plus ones, and she gave me this like beaded bag chain. She has like a lot of like vintage and repurposed beads and like a secondhand beads that she has collected over her life and makes into like necklaces and earrings and things like that. Look how perfectly me this is. Like I want to bring back people making handmade gifts, not just to avoid buying things, but really just to let the person know that you know them, if that makes sense. This is so my colors. And she was like, I know pink isn't really a part of it, but I just thought you've been wearing a lot of pink lately. Her love language is gifting, but it's not, it's like knowing the person vibe. Like sometimes she'll send me things she found at op shops that are like very me, and I love them. Like she really gets my style. She's the one that's made a lot of my gingham dresses as well. So she knows the vibe. We're similar vibes, but she's also running like IRL workshops and like getting out and working with your hands, because I think that it's really important for us to like do that. It's really unnatural for everything to be this with our eyes and thumbs in this secret world that's in our little rectangle in our hands, if that makes sense. Like talking to real people, being creative, getting messy, all in one thing. Like workshops, like go, if there's a workshop you're thinking of doing, go book it. Like I think it's worth it. When I did my ceramics workshop, it wasn't actually the final pieces that I was most satisfied by. It was getting really dirty, doing something I didn't really understand, like being a beginner, like all of those things were really, really nice. Having somewhere to go every week that I knew was outside, like just working, because I had to be that I'd already paid for it. Like it's worth it. It's really valuable. She holds these like IRL bead it yourself workshops where she brings her collection of like secondhand beads, repurposed beads, vintage beads that she's collected from all over the world, Japan, all over her travels, like Australia. And she gives you access to them and lets you like bead your own stuff. I'm going to with her one in Sydney, and she's got them all over the country. She's got them in Brisbane, Melbourne, and Sydney and Canberra, I think. But if you're in Australia, check them out because like I'm so excited. It's so nice. I'm really like touched every time Daisy like gives me something that's really me. Like it's so nice. But yeah, I love it. It sits on my bag. Little trinkets. Very cute. I just want to say a big thank you to our sponsor for this video, who is a holy grail favorite for me, Squarespace. I've been a customer of Squarespace for the last decade. Trust me when I say if it wasn't good and wasn't working, I would not stay. I love it. It's literally the best for me. It's so manageable. I'm still not sick of the theme. Like it's timeless, classic, sophisticated, beautiful, also super easy to use. It's a dream. For me, one of the hardest parts of like the business side is I never feel like I have enough time to update my website. It's the kind of thing that can be on the back burner. It is important though, but I feel like it's really necessary for me to have a website building platform that performs really well and is really easy to use because it's already a barrier of entry for me to assign time to do it. If you run a store, if you're a creative, if you're a service, Squarespace has a theme that's perfect for you. It's also super customizable in a way that's not going to trip you up. Like I feel like it is really customizable, but not in the way that it lets you make really bad choices. I feel like it's really, really good. If you've never tried it, go to squarespace.com/furrylittlepeach. You get a free trial and 10% off your first purchase. I love Squarespace. One less thing to worry about, one less thing to think about. It's my thing. Back to the video. Now I want to talk about potential future favorites. This is where I might need your advice. These are my potential future favorites. I'm looking for a holy grail SPF that is good for my skin. If you guys have sensitive skin, are sensitive to fragrances, but also like the feeling of something on your skin, also you might have eczema or a skin condition like that, what SPF do you use? I would prefer it if it's an Australian one because our standards are really high and it's good to buy in the countries that you're in because they're formulating it for the sun exposure in your country. I used to use ultraviolet, but when I rebought it, I feel like the formulation changed, and also they've just had a scandal with like there was some independent testing and it wasn't like up to the SPF that it was specified on the pack. That scares me. But I would really like to invest some time in finding the right SPF because I do want to make it part of my routine. Like there's a lot of cases of skin cancer in Australia because our sun is super strong. You will get burnt in 20 minutes in the Australian sun. If you have never been to Australia, it's so hot. We have like a hole in the ozone layer above Australia. So it's like the UV exposure is really high. I would say like so often the UV is like 11. 3 is like when you should wear sunscreen, I think. This is all going off memory of what Nate's told me. And he actually doesn't wear a lot of SPF anymore, but he stays inside. I'm not really concerned with that, but I do want to be concerned with it because I don't want to regret not being sun safe later. So if you have an SPF recommendation, I would love it. I don't mind like feeling it on my skin. I find that water-based ones soak in and then make my skin really dry. But if you have like advice about that too, like I'd love to hear it. So SPF recommendations, please, yes. Maybe I'll try a few of them and I'll let you know in my next favorites video. And the other future potential favorite I want to talk about is I think I'm going to get a new phone this year. I haven't gotten a new phone since 2022. The current model that I have is like the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. It served me well. I love the camera. Every so often I'll go into like JB Hi-Fi and check out all of the like phones that they have and check the cameras against the camera of mine. Nothing ever beats it. Like I honestly think the Samsung cameras are the best, and it means all of my Instagram photos are taken on my phone. But I have honestly seriously been considering going back to Apple for my phone. All of my other devices are Apple, which means that it's quite annoying to have to like shift media from my phone to all my other devices. And it sounds like not that big of a deal. It can get quite overwhelming when you're like in a rush. Even things like voiceovers and things like that, like it's first world problems, but it's like, it's getting to the point where it's like bad user experience. But my unfortunate thing is that the hardware is just great on Samsung, but the software is just great on Apple. So it really depends what I want to prioritize. And the cameras are not as good on Apple phones. They're just not. But apps are optimized for iOS. So it's just like a trade-off, I guess. There are always ways around to like, it would be really nice for all of it to be in the same ecosystem. I also saw that like over your lifetime, like Apple's big thing is like keeping you in the ecosystem. I'm a rebel. I don't want to do that just out of like nature. But I do think the software is so good on Apple. Like Procreate is what keeps me on the iPad. Like Procreate is so good. Their software is just so good. Their user experience is pretty good. I haven't had an Apple phone for almost like 10 years now. I've been a Samsung Galaxy user and I'm very satisfied with it. Although like I just think the Android operating system isn't as good. It's also not as cute, but that's like not really my concern. The cameras are just so good on Samsung phones. Like I love the 3x zoom. I love the 10x zoom. I use the 3x zoom for all of my Instagram photos. It makes it look like it's taken on a professional camera. I just have my systems, you know. Do I want to? Do I not? You can either influence me or de-influence me. What do you think? Book-wise, I'm always looking for like another book like tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. I'm still waiting for that. So let me know. What I like about it is I like that it spans over a long period of time. It's just an interesting style of writing when you like incorporate levels of games as a chapter. Like that's so interesting. And just, I love it so much. I love the characters created. I love like the depth that the characters have. It's so good, but I still haven't found anything like it. Kazuo Ishiguro is one of my favorite authors. I read his debut novel, A Pale View of the Hills, and I shared that with you last time that I had when I shared my other recent favorites of books. I didn't love it. I'm really bad with like time shifts back and forth. I don't understand what's happening. But people said it's like a really interesting take on like unreliable narration. I just didn't understand what was happening. I'm a basic girl. What can I say? This doesn't prevent me from reading anything he makes. Like I love his books so much. They're so intriguing. If you guys have any holy grail items or favorites you want me to know about or try, like let me know because I'm looking for my holy grail. Ooh, I'm always looking for illustrators to follow online. I would love to know your favorite YouTubers because I always need more YouTube content to watch, like while I'm in the studio and stuff. It's fun. And any homeware recommendations, like maybe like lifestyle hacks. Like I feel that I have trouble with like maintaining my house because it's the first thing I let slip when I'm really busy. How do you guys... I actually have a tip. The other day when we went to clean our bedroom, I looked up on Pinterest like cleaning list bedroom and it came up with like this one that was really good. It was so helpful just to go along the list and like help me. And like I usually write a list every time, but like I think having a list would be really helpful. So I think I'm going to write a to-do list for each room to make it spotless. Maybe assign weekly, monthly, and like seasonally. See if that helps me manage it because I'm very like high functioning in my work, but I feel that I'm very not good at home all the time. Like it's the first thing both Rock and I let slip. So that's my thing. If you have anything hot tips like that, like I would love to know them. I want to do a favorites video more frequently as I discover things. If you like this, let me know. It's literally like 2 weeks until Peachtober. I can't wait. Like I have to do my preparation. I haven't done any sketching yet. I'm busy like on my late bird stuff and also preparing work for group shows. We'll see. I'm so excited. I'm trying to film the next videos for this month and next month right now because I want to be able to be free to just do Peachtober next month. So if you see me in similar outfits, that's why. I hope you guys have a great day. I hope it's not super drizzly or cold where you are. But if it is, enjoy inside time because that's the perfect time to do it. I will see you very soon with a new video. And if you want to look at my last favorites video, I'll put it in the description and also at the end of this video so you can easily access it. Anyway.